They want to join. Okay.
He's so fun.
Hopefully we are live and what? Well, we're live and we got puppies in here. Yay!
You want them in
Got
here?
doggies. Yeah. Oh yeah.
How is
I'm
it?
on.
You good? You are recording too?
Yeah, I'm going. So hey.
Well, I did. I left
Okay,
some here.
that's fine.
So bye. Bye.
Hello, happy 4th of July early. Since we're in present time, it's kind of like always 4th of July. But anyway, so if you hear any dogs in the background, it's Apache and Sky. And I'm sure that Adobe is here in spirit with them because she's been rumbling around, right? Adobe here too? Okay, okay. Welcome to the Oracle. Oracles are something that I started doing over 30 years ago, and the choice of words come from really my past life memory of being connected with the Oracle of Delphi, and because since early on in my career, I've read for people who were in Washington, D.C., heads of states, kind of like the oracles. You know, the oracles, they would give information to people that were in politics or different levels. So from way, way, way back, I have always attracted a wide range of people that come for a wide range of reasons to see me. So that's why lots of people have asked me, why do you call it the oracle? And the oracular information that comes through, it's intuitive information, and it's right in the moment of what's going on. So tonight, what I think we're going to do is really focus on the last, peeling away the last of old energies that are dragging you down. Because when I look at everyone that's here, and I feel everyone that's here in spirit with us and watching, we are ascending. You're not going to be pulled back down. You are up and away. And one of the most important things right now is to, whatever seems to hurt or assail or pierce or come at you, keep your heart open. We talk about this every week, but it's one of the most important basic things that you can do is do not shut down, because there's such an overwhelming in the moment energy that's going on and that's making us wake up and be so present that you can get something 1 minute and think, okay, I know what I'm going to do 5 minutes from now or tomorrow, and within a minute it can change. Within a minute it can be like another way of looking at something, feeling something, not even having to go through the motions of what you thought a minute before that. I'm sure you've all been experiencing it, where it's like you so it's not a time to stay attached to things. The whole point is you're going to be experiencing non-attachment, and you will know right away if you are trapped in something that has you captured, has you attached in a way that no longer is serving you in any way, because you won't be able to stand it. You will not be able to stand it. So if you find yourself kind of ranting and raving and going, I can't stand this anymore, I don't want to do this anymore, it's because you can't. It's because you don't want to do it anymore. And a lot of people, yes, that's right, Pat. Yes, Apache. He's, okay. He's testifying. He's going to tell us what's going on here. Yeah. Okay. Good dogs. So I've had some prime examples of that just in the last 24 hours. Apache. Yes, we see you. I know. Oh my God. You can see this guy's 125-pound Malamute. Oh my God. Okay. Be a boy. Is that don't even try to control certain things. The more you can, what you want to be in control of is not being in control. That sounds like a very paradoxical thing, but you're going to find that the way we're living right now on this earth is paradoxical. I just heard the most interesting, I've been talking a lot in past weeks about how it's very, there's a veil around duality all the time. And so it's very strange to think, some people think they're liberal or they're extreme conservatives, and when you come into the middle of things, people find out that lots of people who think something is a liberal thought or a conservative thought, it's really all the same thing. And it's what's happening in Egypt right now. You know, the government that was put in, the Democratic person that was put in, of course, they want him out, and they've asked the military to take him out. So once again, there's a paradox of extremes. Of you wouldn't think that some sort of a democratic process has now joined with the military to take the person who is supposed to be fair and replacing the other person. Of course, it's all that morphing, and it's no accident it's happening in Egypt. What's Egypt? It's one of the most ancient civilization sites, right? It's one of all the incredible monuments and things that are about morphing and about the phoenix energy, the death, rebirth. So as we are in this Aquarian age, it's not just the Middle East. We're going to see so much centering in the ancient time of Egypt. And lots of people say that, you know, the Great Pyramid at one time was faced with gold and is actually 1 million years old and much older. It's like there's lots of lies in archaeology. There's lots of people that want to make something fit to say that the Earth is, you know, 7,000 years old. You know those kind of thought forms that are not real. So it's not an accident that the big revolution or different things we're seeing playing out right as we're speaking tonight on the eve of our 4th of July are happening in Egypt. And the Statue of Liberty was put right again. I guess she'd gotten damaged in the storm. So there's a lot of symbology and literal things that are happening right now. So it's very important for you to focus on your personal freedom, your personal liberty. And there's a way to have freedom and to live your life in a free way, mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, that's not narcissistic. And unfortunately, in the Western model, we think people who really should think more about themselves, we don't. We think, well, that could be wrong somehow. Maybe that's selfish, or maybe I'm always supposed to help others, or it's about giving to everybody else. Well, the well runs dry if you're not replenished, if you're not coming from a place. You can only give and receive from a place of where you are within yourself. And then we also, of course, in the Western model, have tons of examples of people that say they're free and living a liberated life, but they look very narcissistic and selfish. So we have this really weird, extreme energy going on. But what you're going to be finding is be in the moment, detach from thought forms about what do you want to give the oracle? Would you mind getting? He just wants you to be on the floor with my thing to pet him. Oh my God. Yes, I know. He's like, hey, what's going on? It's okay. Yeah, he likes to be petted. He goes, what about me? I'm listening to you, and this is this is what I want to happen. I want to have. But anyway, so while as we're morphing up out of things that have had us captured, old thought forms, old ways of doing, old ways of being, the attachments you're going to start to become aware of that you might have, and the codependent things, they'll become more subtle. Or let's put it like this, the subtle attachments you have will become more obvious, actually. So we all went through eras of, working on ourselves or working through codependence and all that kind of stuff. What you're going to find that's happening right now is truly what all karma is self meeting self. It's you around every corner meeting yourself. That's all karma is. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So the self that you keep seeing, if you don't like the self that you keep seeing, if you don't like the reflections that are going on, stand still, get out of reactive places with yourself, with other people, keep your heart open, detach from the drama, but stay open, and come into the Dharma. Come into the place where you feel yourself, see yourself as a magnet attracting to yourself your highest good. So let's start with a meditation tonight. Just close your eyes and get comfortable. And whether you have meditated before or never meditated, doesn't matter. Just feel the safety of this space. We create a very, very, very sacred, safe space to hold here. There are many, many beings of light and a high, high, high frequency of unconditional love. And any type of healing that you need, you can experience at any given moment. How do miracles happen? They happen when we are all in one place at one time, when we have the mental, the spiritual, the physical, the emotional bodies aligned. So in accordance with each person's free will and highest good, we ask the bodies to align. I want you to feel the fatigue and the worry and the stress of the day. Let it fall away. Just let all the layers fall. When you feel your body right now, just feel anywhere where you're holding tension, you're holding stress. Let it move. There's a very strong current of energy that's been gaining a momentum during the last few weeks, last few days. I want you to feel how safe it is to be on the earth. Feel the magnetic pull of the earth on your body. Feel your feet just firmly planted on the earth. Okay, hold on. I'll be right back. I think I have to put some doggies out. Hey, you. What's going on? You might be jealous. He's being jealous. You guys need to go out here? Huh? I have to wear them out with some. If he keeps that door's open, just call it. Tell him you got food and he'll go. Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, babies. Let's go. Come on. Come on.
He's comfortable now.
You know what? He's out and then, then you can come back if you want, just if he's there. I've got one out and he'll calm down, I think. Yeah, you wanted to, there was a plan. There was a plot and a plan to get somebody out. Yes. Got the other dog. No more talking. You gotta be quiet. Uh-oh, no, he's gonna still keep talking. Okay. That's unusual because he's been in meditations before. Okay, hold on. So happy. She is. Okay. Okay. Look at him. Oh my God, he never acts like this. This is so weird. Okay. No. Okay.
You're all getting ready.
Okay. Well, yeah, that was interesting. So I'm saying be in the moment. Whatever's going on is what's going on. Okay, let's go back to the meditation. Sorry about that. Doggies, I apparently wanted to be in here, give some energy, and now they're eating chips. So they should be happy for a while. But anyway, I want you just to, this is the thing. There's so much energy moving through the earth right now that the only way I can describe it, if you tune into it, it's rocking and rolling. There's movement. There's a fluidity that has not been there. Just as our own bodies are morphing and changing and becoming, filling with light, it's happening to everything around us. So I want you just to feel the movement of the earth and feel the magnetic pull of the earth as a positive thing on your body. Don't feel it as a thing that's keeping you, it's pulling your body down in a heavy way or a negative way or an aging way. We ask all pictures of death to be turned into pictures of life. All pictures of fear to be transmuted into pictures of unconditional love and truth. And I want you just to feel the safety of your own being, your own space. You are a huge, huge, huge being of light. Your physical body temple is a very small part of a larger, larger, larger vehicles that you're a part of. So I want you to know and feel how sacred your soul, your spirit, your astral body, all these different layerings, all these different vehicles are, and how important it is to be in your body temple right now. You don't want to be somewhere else. You don't want to be in somebody else's life or drama. You want to be in your space, in your life. I want you just to feel the pull of the earth, and it's pulling all the negative thoughts, the feelings, the toxins, the poisons. You've all been feeling a lot of aches and pains, and it's kind of moving around your body. I'm getting lots of phone calls about, why do I have this pain? Why I never had this pain here before? Why is this happening? Anywhere that we have blocked or repressed or denied anything, it's coming forward to be healed. So I want you to start to think about the different things you might be experiencing, especially right now in the physical realm, that feel unpleasant, that feel negative. And I want you to know how to view it. You are in a healing process. You are not sick. You are not dying. You are in a healing process. Again, we ask all pictures of death to be turned into pictures of life. All pictures of fear to be transmuted into pictures of unconditional love and truth. Dis-ease is just that. It's dis-ease. The last stop is the physical body. As we're going through this process of healing, we can't just heal symptoms. We can no longer, it's like putting a band-aid over cancer. We can't just heal a minute part of our being. What is a holistic approach? We have to go back to point of origin of where things went off of the divine blueprint. So again, as you're feeling your body and you're feeling any of the discomfort or the pain or the blocks or the burning or the headache or the backache and some of you have some what might feel to be serious diseases, illnesses, in accordance with each person's free will and highest good. We ask the original divine blueprint that runs through your body, because you're created in the image of Creator. We want to have that original divine blueprint come into full activation. And again, in accordance with each person's free will and highest good, we ask Spirit to go back to where anything's gone off the original divine blueprint. It's now causing pain, suffering, blocks, disease, illness, death. And we want to pull these cords out by the root. We're always cutting the cords. We're going to cut cords tonight, but we want to go down deep. Just like if you were going to really get rid of the weeds in your lawn, you can cut them, but if you don't pull them out by the roots, they're going to come back up. It's the same thing with dis-ease. It's the same thing with any form of something that is not of the light, that's not right, that is in the body, mind, and spirit causing you problems. Let's go back to point of origin. And it doesn't have to be a lengthy thing. So what we're going to do right this second, I want you to feel how safe it is to keep your heart open. I want you to feel how safe it is to open to receive unconditional love. Let the fear go. Fear will want you always to control. Unconditional love will always want you to open to receive. I want you to feel the choices you need to make right now. It's safe to be a spiritual being in a physical body. It's safe to no longer need your disease or your illness. We sometimes get so conditioned to not feeling well. We get so used to talking about what's wrong that it becomes part of a persona. I get people in all the time who are getting well, want to get well, but they're on disability, and so they go, oh my God, I'm in a dilemma. If I get well, how am I going to get, what's this? But they don't want to be disabled anymore. So this is going on for everybody. So I want you to feel the inner conflict you might have. We don't even know sometimes how we are attached to negativity, how we are attached to something in the body, mind, or spirit that does not feel right, but we've allowed it to be because it's somewhere we have a matching picture or we have something that was familiar that's keeping that there. I want you to know how safe it is to let go of pain and disease and death and illness. I want you to feel the light going into every cell of your being. You are made of light. You are here on this earth at this time, created by the Divine Mother, Divine Father. You are here to be you. You were given free will. You're given powers of co-creation. It's safe to co-create with God. It's safe to use your free will. It's safe to let go of all the things that are not right in your life. So again, in accordance with each person's free will and highest good, we ask that this energy, this light, this transmuting energy will go deep, deep, deep into your being, down to the roots, to pull out by the root all the things that are not of the light, all the cords that are attaching you to people, situations, things that are keeping you from your true happiness and well-being. Old experiences, old pain, old hurt. And again, feel the energy of the earth, the magnetic energy of the earth is pulling you to the earth, pulling these poisons down and out. And let this energy just move around. Just feel the earth magnetic energy going in, healing, cleansing, purifying. And you are a beautiful walking tree. We are huge trees. We are huge beings of light But we have a root system. We have an incredible root system on the bottoms of our feet. The wheels of light or chakras that are on the bottoms of our feet connect us deep, deep, deep down into the center of the earth. That has the ability to pull poisons out, but to also pull energy up from the earth, up through the body. The root chakra is very powerful. It's just like a taproot. That's your root chakra is very much like a taproot. It has the ability to pull poisons out, and it has the ability to pull energy up. And this taproot is the color of black because it's the color of the soul, of the soil. The black earth, that intense earth energy. I want you to feel that just rich soil energy that the taproot is connected with. And this is connected, it's in the perineum part of the body near the tailbone. It's like you have as you're this walking tree, you have this taproot that connects you and guides you and deep into the earth. Constantly giving life force up through your body. We ask again, all pictures of death to be turned into pictures of life. All limited thinking to be transmuted away. It's safe to choose life. It's safe to choose healing. It's safe to choose to be pain-free in the right way. I want you to feel this beautiful, beautiful red energy moving through the second chakra, through the sexual reproductive area of the body. This part of the body is not just about sexuality or childbirth or reproduction. This is where you co-create life. I want you to feel the power of co-creation. I want you to feel the power of this red energy moving into every cell of your body, cleansing the blood, activating the blood, creating new life force, bringing balance and harmony to your blood, to the vitality in your body. It's safe to let go of fear, pain, suffering, molestation, abuse. Anything that you may be holding in this area that is frightening, that's where you're wounded or you're keeping yourself shut down. It's safe to be a co-creative partner with God. It's safe to let your powers of co-creation with Spirit create new life in your body. I want you to feel an energy that's starting to move up from that second chakra, up right under the belly button is what we call the Buddhic flame or the Christ flame. And it's going to ignite this central sun. It's going to ignite this beautiful third energy center. So just as you would turn a knob on a stove, on a gas stove, as you're turning this knob, this beautiful flame, it's purple, it's orange, it's yellow, and it's igniting this beautiful third chakra area. This all around the navel and out, just feel that you have this incredible sun, beautiful orange yellow sun. If our bodies are an image, made in the image of Creator, and we are a microcosm of the macrocosm, this is the center of your universe. This is the center of your being. And I want you to feel safe enough to come down and be in this body. Be in your body temple in a comfortable way. Be in your body. Be in your full energy of this central sun. Let it burn out. Let it transmute decay, disease, stagnancy. Feel the vitality of this energy. Feel yourself being filled with this beautiful heat, this beautiful sunlight that you have within your own being that has the power to transmute, to clear, to heal, to ignite. And as you feel this energy moving, you're going to feel that energy moving up. Let it go up through the ribs, let it go up into the heart, to the whole chest, even up into the shoulder area. And I want you to visualize the most beautiful color of emerald green, or the color of a beautiful green field. This is the color of healing. And many people have been experiencing heart pains, chest pains, tightness in the chest, panic attacks, overwhelming, trying to breathe and feeling a pain. It's safe to take in the breath of life. I want you to feel this green energy going into every cell of your body. I want you to feel your heart open and stay open. I want you to feel the energy cleansing, healing. Anywhere you have bitterness, rejection, abandonment, unrequited love. If you have felt betrayed, if you have felt controlled by others or criticized by others, or anywhere you're holding pain and victimization, we want to let go of that. You need to be the lover of your own soul. What you want and what you need and what you're looking for in the outer world, you must first have that from within. The condition of your inner self, your inner life, is what you will keep attracting to yourself. So I want you to heal the fragmentation. I want you to feel, let the energy move deep into this heart, into the chest, into the breast, this whole area of the shoulders. Let the energy move. There are many people in this process right now of healing and forgiving of self and others. So much of what people will do to you or have done to you is not personal. It's coming from their own pain and their own fragmentation. I want you to feel safe, to always keep your heart open no matter what somebody else is thinking, feeling, saying, doing. Stay in that frequency of unconditional love. It's safe to feel the wholeness, the oneness. It's safe to connect with the inner beloved. It's safe to connect with the inner soulmate. We ask the subconscious mind to be healed and cleared of any old tapes, any old programming that has to do with judgment about relationships or negative expectation. The things we project and think that love hurts. It's never going to work out. Things always turn out in a negative way, or men are a certain way, or women are a certain way. You can't trust this. Marriage doesn't work. Relationships don't end well. I want you to let go of the fear and the limitation. What you want to focus on right now, it's not about past experience. It's not about thought forms. It's about your relationship with yourself and with God. Your relationship with yourself and Holy Spirit. Your relationship with your inner beloved. The inner psyche of a male is female. The inner psyche of a female is male. That's what the yin-yang is. That's why we have the white and the black with the little piece of the black from the white and a piece of the white and the black. You are Elohim, means we. In our image, we made them male and female. I want you to feel this wholeness from within. In the Gnostic Gospels, they talk about many things. Except the eye becomes single, you cannot enter the kingdom. Except you become as a child, you cannot enter the kingdom. Except a male become a female or a female become a male, they cannot enter the kingdom. Talking about healing the illusion of separation and duality. I want you to know the oneness and the wholeness that's not based on somebody else's perception of you or what they will do or not do, what they've done or not done for you. I want you to feel your individual being. And one of the hardest phases of things we go through is facing aloneness. I want you to feel the difference between being alone and loneliness. It's safe to be alone without being lonely. It's safe to feel and know you are alone and embracing true aloneness, not loneliness. You know you're never alone. It's just like when you finally face death, you're reborn, and you'll never have that fear of death again. And what we do in the world with relationships and with love and with paradigms about these, it's not unconditional love that we're basing things on. It's conditional love. I will love you if you do this. I will love you if you don't do that. I'm talking about a vibration, a frequency that absolutely has nothing to do with splitting, dividing, control, manipulation, reward, punishment. This all has to do with how you were created. The Divine Mother, Divine Father create new life, new solar systems, new stars every moment. Your body is a microcosm. I want you to feel this amazing union of the yin-yang, the male-female, within your own heart, your own being. I want you to feel the beauty and love that you were created from, and to know that there's no one like you. You are a unique expression of your own being. You are created to have free will and to use those powers of co-creation to create new life. So I want you to feel how good it feels to come up out of that lower reptilian brain that we all have, that wants to always think and control things, that wants to always see things as black or white, or this is wrong or this is right, that keeps us out of that I being single, that keeps us from entering the kingdom. I want you to feel that higher frequency. I want you to feel this union. There's a beautiful pink energy, and it's silvery, and it's gold, and it's sparkly, and it's pink. And it's moving, again, it's a color of unconditional love, and it's moving through every cell of your body, igniting the actualization of unconditional love, freeing you out of the bondage of conditional living and being and thinking and loving, opening that jail you've had yourself in. Let yourself out. Be free. And I want you to feel, when you're in a constant state of prayer and meditation, prayers when we send out, meditations when we receive, I want you to feel the reality of sending and receiving. How do we do that? By totally always keeping the heart open. I am Alpha, I'm Omega, I'm the beginning, I'm the end. World without end. It's when there's no beginning or end. There's no opening and closing. There's only being, no matter what, in this open state. When you are in this opened, aligned state, miracles happen. This is when dis-ease leaves the body, mind, and spirit. This is when restoration of the body, mind, and spirit occur. This is when liberation from things that have bound you occur. And this is a real state of being. This is a state we are supposed to be living in. Again, I want you to let the last of the old fears, again, let all this energy move and wash deep into your being, lifting out at the roots, dissolving the roots of negative attachment. This may be to ways of being, ways of doing, ways of believing, people, objects, concepts, belief systems. It's safe to speak your truth. I want you to feel the energy moving from the heart up through the throat. There's a beautiful, beautiful sapphire blue energy associated with the throat chakra. I want you to feel that blue, electric blue energy move through the throat, through the ears, through the back of the neck. It's safe to speak your truth. It's safe to hear the truth. It's safe to have the gift of Holy Spirit that is about discernment. So you will discern the truth and what you're hearing, what you're feeling. You will know. You will have a knowing faith, not a blind faith, of what is happening in your world, in your life. It's safe to speak your truth. Let this blue energy move through your gums, through your teeth, through your sinuses, through your whole being. Just let this energy move. Let it go. Everywhere in your body, just let it move and flow. I want you to feel and let go of the pressure you maybe have been feeling for a long time in the heart, in the head. Let your being expand out into this huge being of light that you are. Let your energy move. The pineal and pituitary glands are a functioning of the third eye. I want you to feel these two pulse points that are in the forehead that are connected with the third eye or the inner eye. And visualize the most beautiful color of purple. It's safe to see with the inner eye. It's safe to hear with the inner ear. It's safe to feel empathically. We ask all the gifts of Holy Spirit that you have, we ask them to open, manifest in a way that's safe, that brings happiness, fulfillment for yourself, for others. All of your strengths, we ask them to come forward. And I want you to feel, and you're probably already feeling there's a lot of heat, there's a lot of cool, there's a lot of mixtures of energies moving through your body. I want you to feel the crown chakra opening up. You're born with a soft spot in your head when you're a baby. This is your spiritual umbilical cord. It's where you come and go. I want you to feel this radiant, beautiful, purple light pouring down through your body. I want you to feel the electrical energy of the Divine Father. All the beautiful storms that we've been having. I want you to feel that electrical, it's not a punishing male God, it's a life-giving energy. I want you to feel this electrical energy of the Divine Father being attracted by the magnetic energy of the Mother. Let this energy come down through the crown, down through your body. I want you again to feel how big you are as a being of light. I want you to feel how safe it is to be this giant being on this earth. And it's a great mystery of life. We are of the heavens, we are of the earth. And I want you to feel the connection to the heavens, to the stars, and know that there is a star that is connected with you. We are made from the energy of this universe. We're made from the stars. I want you to feel the star energy coming down into your body, expanding out through the bodies, cleansing. We ask all pictures of death to be turned into pictures of life, all pictures of fear to be transmuted into pictures of unconditional love and truth. And again, I want this dissolving of anywhere you're rooted. We want to go back. Anywhere in your body that you've had accidents, that you've had surgeries, that you've had wounding in the physical, in the mental, in the spiritual, in the emotional. We want to go back to the origin, and we want these to be erased from the body, mind, and spirit. We want your original divine blueprint to come into full activation. And in accordance with each person's free will and highest good, we feel the presence of the Archangel Michael and the mighty energy that's with him. And we ask for all the cords to become visible that we need to cut. They've already been pulled out by the roots. We're going to ask for a cutting of the cords. It's safe to let go of these cords that were binding you, that were keeping you bound. Let them all come forward. They're pulled out by the roots, but you want to sever the last of any negative umbilical cords that are binding you to death, to bitterness, to codependence, to fear, to lack, to addiction, addictive behaviors. We ask the Archangel Michael to sever these cords. Let them fall away. Let them Burn up in the fiery energy of the phoenix. You are the phoenix rising from the ashes. Let the fiery seraphim energy transmute. Burn off the dross. Let the ashes fall away. Let the pain, let the suffering, let it go. The presence of the whole body of spirit is here. The whole energy field of oneness, wholeness. Let this energy move inside, outside. Let go of the illusion of separation. Feel the connection. There's so many beings of light on this earth at this time, meeting just like we are, connecting. It's safe to be who you are. It's safe to let your light shine. It's safe to have all that you need, all that you want. It's safe to bring into manifested form your dreams, your abilities, your talents. Your reason for this being on this earth at this time is being activated and revealed. It's safe to no longer hide. It's safe to be transparent. It's safe to let go of the past. It's safe to totally bring into manifested form who you are, who you really are, your authentic self. We send this love, this unconditional love, to all life forms, to all sentient beings. Feel how safe you are to stay in this frequency. Feel restored, renewed as you return to the consciousness of this room. And this process of manifesting and being who you are will continue into the night, to the dreams, into the days to come. A continual revealment of your life. Feel the cells in your body being restored, repaired, transmuting, filling with light. Overriding the lower DNA. Let that divine blueprint that's encoded in every cell of your body come into full activation. And I want you to we're going to do a few connected breaths. I want you to always breathe in through the nose, exhale through the mouth, and just breathe in. Wow. Know that once you experience anything, it's downloaded like a program in your body, mind, spirit, and you can recreate it. You can stay in this frequency. This is not something that's temporary. It's not something that happens and then it disappears. Know that the healing, the transmutation, the cleansing, the oneness, the journey that you're on right now is real. This is not a dress rehearsal. This is not a trial run. This is your life. You're in it and it's manifesting. Over the next 9-10 hours, you'll start to feel better, different. You'll feel movement. You may feel energy moving through different parts of your body. You might feel itchy or scratching, or it's part of the healing process. Sometimes skin is our largest organ, so sometimes you'll start to feel movement, or you'll feel energies moving around. It's normal. Let it move, let it shift. Drink lots of water. You will be detoxifying of the body, mind, and spirit. Over the next 9-10 days, many great things, many big things will happen. You'll start to have huge manifestations appear. Embrace them. Embrace whatever is appearing. Embrace it, move through it, deal with it, keep going, keep going. Open to receive all the positive energy that's always here, that's abundant. Life is abundant. Life force is abundant. It's all around you. So again, as you return to this consciousness of this room, you'll feel restored, renewed, awake, yet peaceful, integrated. Let that energy just come in. Let all the other float away. And see yourself as a magnet attracting only your highest good. See yourself attracting your whole magnetic field, this whole huge being of light that you are, bringing to you wholeness, wellness, your dharma, not your karma. There's no more repeating. That wheel has stopped. We are not learning in a cyclical, linear fashion anymore. The wheel has stopped and you're ascending up or you're descending down. I want you to feel how done you are with learning through suffering. It serves no purpose in your life. I want you to feel how boring the repetition of patterns are. I want you to know and feel how good it is to let go of the fear and the control and the worry and the stress it brings. I want you to feel the joy and the wholeness of letting go, of opening, staying open. We speak to the immune system. We are daily assaulted by poisons of many kinds, but I want you to feel how cleansed and whole the body, mind, and spirit are, but we want to really send light and energy today to the immune system. To the adrenal glands. They've been so worn out from people staying in a fearful state. I want you to feel that energy moving through the adrenals, moving through the immune system, through the whole endocrine system, which is really what the chakras are. They're connected with the endocrine system. We ask it all to come into perfected order, to all the organs, all the systems in the body to work together. A house divided cannot stand. In the oneness comes healing. Let the division, let the fight be over. Let the dualistic places you've stayed no longer be a place where you dwell. You're going to feel energy moving up the back, up the spine. Let it keep moving up. Let the energy move up. Let it up, 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 because it's coming from a grounded place. The first three chakras are the furnace. Once you have the furnace going, it supports the energy here. We send this light, we send this energy to our homes, our jobs, our friends, our enemies, everyone, everything around us. We send energy and light and a cleansing and a wholeness. Let this energy go into every part of your life. And we ask this energy, this wholeness, this new life that's here to again attract in only that which is of the light. The people we meet, the people we're connected with, the things we're doing, how we live, where we live. We ask it to be about the actualization of unconditional love. That is a good journey. Wow. 11 years ago today, actually started a little bit yesterday, and today is when we started to build the roundhouse. 30 years ago in July was when we bought this house, this old Spanish house here, this 1928 house. So this is a powerful time. It's hard to imagine that 30 years ago is when this started, and then 11 years ago, same month, was when that was manifested. And there's a new renewal of an awakening of that energy that's moving through here. Very much, I want you to know how important it is right now to be connected with where you live. If you don't like where you live, you need to move. And the quickest way to move, if you don't like where you're living, is start throwing things out. Start cleansing, start purging, start getting rid of things. And it's hard sometimes because we have attachment to things. The more you clean out, the more room there is for new to come in. So it's very important as you're making these big shifts from within. You're going to need new matching pictures in the outer world. So you may find yourself looking in your home and going, I need to change a color, I need to move things around, or you may find yourself going, maybe I just need to move. And our lower minds many times can keep us in a place of fear. We think, well, I can't afford to live somewhere else, or I can't, maybe I'm upside down in my mortar, or, the lower things. Don't limit how spirit can bring your right dwelling. Because again, the more you're in your field, in your energy being, it will push into your outer reality. It doesn't work the other way. And this is where you see people who have a lot of money or means to do things, and they think, if I buy a bigger house, or I get a better car, whatever they think they're doing to manipulate external reality, it doesn't work that way. The outer world is just a mirror reflecting back to you. So if you don't like what you're seeing in the reflection, start to clear it out. Because a lot of it will sometimes have actually to do with the things you have around you. And as you clear in here, this is what's been going on for me. I get really overwhelmed with things. I kind of have attention deficit, so I get really overwhelmed. I'll start doing something and I lose things. I have like 10 notebooks where I start writing or doing things. And so when I get into that overwhelmed space, and then I go inward and I come up out of a meditation like this, I immediately, instead of collapsing, because this is what happens to people. We get visions, we want to do things, we see what we need to do, we see what we want to do, and we don't know where to start, or we start to do certain things and you get so overwhelmed you just don't want to do anything. You just kind of collapse and go, I think I'll just watch TV now. I think I'll just lay down. What you want to do every day, even if it's 10 minutes, is to start in a little area of your home and clear and cleanse. If you do something every day, even if it's a few moments, a few minutes of mindfulness, connecting with your space, as you're clearing, you will get in a role to start to clear old things. I've been pitching, tossing, going through things. I'm a firm believer, when I watch those shows, the show Hoarders or any of those, of course it makes you feel a little bit better about yourself. It's like, but I really get it. I get what happens to people. So this is what I do. And you have to do this in a safe way. I think literally what happens I would love to write this into the show, the Hoarders. I think a lot of times when you see the people and they just can't deal with when other people are handling their things and then just throwing them in a truck, they need to have a big furnace. They need to have like a big drum where they can burn things. Because a lot of it is about attachment. A lot of it is about, I mean, I have it. There's certain things I don't know what to do with. I burn them up because it's not that I'm selfish or don't want my clothes to be sitting at Goodwill or on somebody else. There's plenty that people can have, but I've run into certain things like that where you have this stuff, you don't know why you have it, but you don't know what to do with it. And your mind makes up that you just have it. And then you start to think, well, if I throw this away, I'm gonna need it to, all the things that we go through with attachment in our lower minds. If they would have, instead of like these people throwing their things in the trash or throwing them to be given away, if they would have stuff that they don't know what to do, just put it in a big furnace and burn it up, or they would be so released from it. It's very freeing. It's very healing to do. So again, I advise you, because it can be like that. You can really get to that point where you really don't know what to do with the stuff you have. And it's not that you're selfish or you don't want it. It's a very real thing about attachment in many ways. So a really good way to break attachment is through fire. That's why people get cremated instead of buried. There's a detachment from the, fire is an interesting transmuting energy. So again, burn in a safe way. Have your fire pit, there's all kinds of codes now, but you can find ways to go out but if you have things you don't know what to do with, burn them up. The other thing about moving clutter or moving things is have someone else help you. If you try to do it by yourself, it can be very overwhelming. And you get started, and again, what they say in some of the feng shui teachings is to every 15 minutes wash your hands. Every 15 minutes go outside, do deep breathing, wash your hands, because more than we know, there are energies attached with objects that you're handling. And so you'll actually start to feel sick. You'll start to, like I said, get on a roll about clearing things, and all of a sudden you'll get mentally confused, or you'll feel like really tired. And it's from the attachments. So these are good visual images for you about these things, right? Keep going with this idea about things you are attached to that aren't necessary or real anymore. Old ways of believing, old ways of viewing. How even when we go into higher realms sometimes, that's what I'm finding a lot with healing I'm doing with people in sessions. It's not big, it's subtle things. Even people that are very spiritual, we don't even realize that we may have very dogmatic beliefs. We may have very limited thinking when we don't think we do. So you want to keep, just as you're cleansing your home, your being, your body, everything, keep expanding into that experience of unconditional love actualized. Because again, when you have thoughts when you're thinking with the lower mind, many times you are not experiencing, you're not feeling. And the opposite can happen too. If you're detached from a certain type there's a higher mind. When we're in the higher mind, there's not a separation of the heart, the body, mind, spirit. It's very much this oneness. But the same thing can happen, and we see it all the time, where people they're trapped in their emotional body. And there's no thing, the attachments in the thrill of I'm up, I'm down, it can be a roller coaster that people get used to because of it. There's sensations with it, and there's feelings. People I call them, the same people I call Dharma junkies. They love to go see the Dalai Lama. They love to hear Joel Osteen. They love to read the books. They love to get all this stuff going, but then they don't do anything with it, right? You can't read. It's not about reading the books. It's not about just getting inspiration from other people. It's about knowing that you have a life that wants to be lived. You have a wonderful energy that wants to be expressed. You have creativity that needs, if we don't express our creative selves, it becomes destructive. The opposite of creation is destruction. So if we're not creating, and almost everybody's creative, but we're all taught in different ways. Maybe you're not creative, or you're only creative if you draw or paint or what, you know. No, you want to, creation is creation, creation. It's like when you see little children before they become, you know, burdened with falling into fear. How they play, what they do, how present they are. They're creating. They don't care what people think of what they're doing or how they're doing it. They're just doing it. So what I have learned or tried to be in my life is to put. I like to dance a lot. I don't care what it looks like. I just dance in my house, or I sing in the shower, or I don't have to be in the shower. Lately I've been just finding myself just whatever a feeling, emotion, a whatever, I've been finding myself kind of singing a lot and just kind of really feeling that fluid energy moving around. We've been so conditioned to be separate and to think in a way of separation and to believe that things are in a compartment. And that's where we fell through that fear, into that illusion of separation from self, others, and spirit. And it's where we started to die, or think we had to die to go to heaven. We started to believe that we were awake, we were asleep, this was bad, this was good. I'm telling you, the tree of life is your being in your life, and you being in your life. The tree, when we ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, it's symbolic for when we fell into the lower reptilian brainstem, when we fell through fear into judgment of bad, good, right, wrong, and we got trapped in that duality. And I'm telling you, this is what's being healed on this earth right now, is anywhere that you are holding on to pain, suffering, it's not going to be allowed. So this is the paradox. You're going to feel your pain and your suffering. And the more you don't want to feel it, you're going to feel it even more. So the more you go, okay, I guess I have to feel this pain and suffering, it will go away. It's like those Chinese things you used to put on your fingers when you were a kid. When you pull and resist, they won't come off. And then when you relax, they come off. This is what's going on in the earth plane right now. Do not resist what's happening. Absolutely do not resist it. The more you embrace and move through, it will morph, it will change. One of the biggest ways we've all been programmed to not be empowered is to give our power over readily to everybody else or everything else. When I was a little kid, I used to give all my toys away, and it wasn't because I cared if people liked me or not. It wasn't about that. I always felt sorry for people. And I'm going to go into that a little bit tonight too, because it's a very important thing. I think children all feel this kind of stuff. When I was a very, very little child, I always felt very, very, very big. I didn't ever feel, I was always in my bigger body. And I think most children are. But at a very early age, we get conditioned to think that anything that we're saying or doing isn't real, it's imaginary, it's this, it's that, it's, you know. And so then children shut down and all kinds of things happen. But I just remember from a very early age just kind of feeling sorry for it, thinking, you know what, I don't need this, you have it all. And when I look back, though, on certain things, again, we're very conditioned to give power away too readily. And power is not a bad word. You know, we've all been conditioned, too, to think that money, power are bad things. Misuse of power is bad. Misuse of when scriptures talk about money is not the root of the love of money is the root of all evil. It's when you worship, when you have greed, or when you have, all that kind of stuff. That's what's evil. It's not the energy of having. So you really want to see in your daily life how much of your life you're spending in a retreated way, in a way where you're not in your full empowerment. And it's really interesting. It always happens. Almost everybody that's coming in for readings right now are going, and they're very logical, very evolved beings. And trust me, I've been experiencing in my own life every moment. And they'll start complaining or talking about something that's happening. And the reason that they're upset or whatever, it's because, well, I don't want to hurt this other person's feelings. Or they don't even know. But when you start to dissect it, it's really, we've been trained to live in a way of walking on eggshells or living in a small space, and we don't want to upset people. We don't want to upset things. We don't, whatever. And as you all know, especially very positive people, there are many people out there that are emotional terrorists. There are many people out there that are very narcissistic, that are psychic vampires, and they're very glad to take your power. They are just waiting for you to feel sorry for them. They're waiting for you to go, gee, I better not speak my truth, because if I say this, then they're going to get mad, or they're going to do this. They've all been trapped, and I'm talking about this for a reason. It's so prevalent. In the 43 years of doing my spiritual work, my psychic counseling, my intuitive counseling with people and therapies, I have never seen the prevalence, and it is right now of this. You can't do it anymore. There's many times you're helping people, you're not helping people. So you need to really pay attention to the hook of feeling sorry for. When we feel sorry, we have an attachment. And almost any time in my life that I have felt sorry and went out of my way for something, it was a huge victimization. It was a huge mistake. It didn't help that person. It didn't help that situation at all, and it harmed me. When you have an open heart of compassion, you have a discernment, and you don't fall into the lower mind that goes, oh, well, I'll feel guilty if I don't help this person. Because when you get, when you get trapped down in that dualistic thinking, that's where you get off track about the difference between feeling sorry or compassion. Because again, it's attachment. So, and I keep repeating this because I'm repeating it for myself. It's very tricky and it's very subtle, but I want to tell you, the more you know and you feel and you get it, you don't want to be there anymore. And you'll start to be aware of how much of the world operates on sucking the life out of you. And you allowing it. You don't have to. You don't have to. More and more and more, it's going to be easy for you when you find yourself in a situation to speak your truth. We do this daily. We all do. You walk. Somebody says something. Something happens, and you're thinking, "I'd really like to say this or this," and you walk away, and you think, "God, I wish I would have said this. I wish I would have done that." You're going to get more and more to the point because we're not going to learn that way anymore from repeating. It's not. That movie Groundhog Day is going to be antiquated. You're not going to be learning in a cyclical way. What's going to start happening is if you walk away and are not in your empowerment, you're not going to have a second, third chance to do it again. You're going to be feeling a lot of pain. You're just going to be you're going to be overwhelmed with things. It won't be coming back around in that way. This is the point. This is not a dress rehearsal. This is not a trial run. It's not about, again, what we read in books. It's not none of it. It's every second is your life. And the way to live your life to the fullest is whatever is occurring be in that place, and you will get it. You'll know what to do. You'll know what to say. And sometimes what you're going to find is you don't have to say anything, you walk away. Because this is another hook. People will get you into defending yourself or arguing, or, and that's a big hook, because, and sometimes that's the other, it gets really tricky, just all this stuff, but once you get into this, you'll start to really get it, that you'll start to have a radar that goes out, that before this stuff even gets near to you, because again, the more whole you are, there's no place for stuff to come in. The more fragmented you are, you're going to find stuff that wants to grab in and get in those nooks and crevices within your being, because you're not filled up. And it's painful, and it's horrible, and it's negative, and you're going to want to do that less and less. You will just not want to do it. I'm at the point right now, and it's not at all like, I have been freeing myself from a lot of situations and people, and the more I have just gone within, and the more I have just been in a certain space within my being, all kinds of new positive energy comes in. You don't realize how much time and energy you even put into resisting. You know, we all have people we don't want to be around, that we, you know, probably some are relatives, and you don't even realize how you get enmeshed in certain things. It gets to the point you speak your truth. It gets to the point you know certain things are going to be a certain way. But again, this is the tricky part. You don't want to go into, well, this happened in the past, so this is how we don't want to condemn ourselves or other people to how things have been. So another big freeing process is to kill people off as roles. Kill yourself off as a role. You are not a role. You are not just a male or a female or a Christian or a Jew or a mother or a father or a brother or a sister. You are a complete whole being. And the more you don't see yourself as, I was a teacher, or I did this, or I accomplished that, or I'm this label, you just have so much more energy and so much more capabilities of having a great life. When we have roles involved, we will have negative and positive expectations of ourselves and the other person. And, you know, I've gone through a lot of this with just the death of my mother in April, and the death of my aunt Sunday, and death of many, I've had a lot of death. And anytime we have death, it brings up, it activates, other times you've had loss. And in going through many, one of the, I think probably the most heartbreaking things, going through old letters and things, and I came across this letter my mother wrote me back in the 80s, and I don't even remember reading it then. At one time, my mother was an amazing woman, and she had her master's degree, she taught school, she just did anything you can think of, wrote a book, she's a very amazing being. And at one time when we started the center here, she was at the age where she was retired, and she came and ran the center. She actually owned part of this at one time. And I came across this letter recently, and I always thought I did a good job of seeing her as a person, you know. And the letter said, Marilyn, why can't I be your friend? Why are you not my friend? It's bald. Because I didn't know, when you're caught in roles, it's what happens. So when we were interacting here a lot, now that I look back on it, I would resist her. I would think, it's my mother. And I go through it now with my own son. And I get it now. 'Cause when you're at a certain age, you don't get it. You don't. So when you feel these things, you have to just feel them and share them, because it's so important for people to know. Don't stay stuck in false pride or in roles or in, at first when I read it too, I felt very ashamed. And then the more I just cried and opened up to it, I knew it was okay. I knew that whatever it was all about, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. And that's what we all have to do. Let your heart be pierced. Let your heart be open to feel. It can't just be this thing in your head that you feel. When you feel guilty, you'll never be healed. Because, my first reaction was I wanted to feel guilty and beat myself up and think, oh my God, what, I don't even remember reading this letter. How would I not remember reading this letter from 1985 or whatever, We get so busy and we get so caught up in everything. So again, do yourself a favor, and not in a disrespectful way. Kill off roles. Be connected with people in your lives. Don't limit how you perceive your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your wife, your husband, your friends. Because when you do, you're in that box too. You have to kill off. It's really a higher meaning when Jesus was on the cross and he said to Mary, "It's not my mother anymore." And he said to his two brothers, because Mary was not a virgin and she had other children, he said, "There's your mother. Behold your mother." And it's about not disrespectfully doing this, but it's about you reach a certain point with spiritual opening and awakening that the person is not just your mother or your father, and you're not the child anymore. And when you clear that, when you open that, everything changes. Because a lot of why families don't interact is they're so stuck in roles. I get so many people who are, you start talking about why don't you, they might see their mother, the father, the brother, sister once a year, or they haven't seen them in years. And it's the most amazingly, sometimes there might be really good reasons. You might have been raised with a sociopathic, horrible, abusive person. You don't have to be with that person. Again, that's the other way it works. You can disconnect from stuff like that. You don't have to deal with those people. It can be done. But a lot of times it's there. We're all certain ages emotional or chronologically, but we can be many, many, many ages emotionally, and we can be trapped in 5 years old, baby. We all have these different parts of ourselves. So it's that same thing. Notice what pushes your buttons when you are around people, when you're around loved ones or unloved ones. The in-laws, the outlaws. As we call, our family used to call them now the outlaws. The people married into the family. It's the way. But when you start to then go, okay, away from that, and start to know that everybody has a story. Everybody has things that they're way more than just what this role is. And you're more than, we get diminished by roles. We're totally diminished by roles. And I think the other thing about it is, and we see it in our society, where people are trained, and this is all changing, of course, too, where, especially I was born in 1948, so like in those days, in the 50s, you were taught to, the doctors were gods. They knew everything. That's not so much that way anymore. That's another, you were taught, all kinds of authority figures. I kind of got that one early, though. I kind of resisted that one. But, you're taught all kinds of stuff about a role of a person. Again, that's unfair. That's unfair to people too, that they get things projected too much power. But you'll find even in your workplace, you're going to end up finding people, until you heal these things, these role archetype things, you'll find people that will remind you of your family dynamics every day of the week. You'll all notice it. You start to think about when you're interacting in the outer world, all of a sudden you go, oh crap, that person's just like my father. This person's just like and then it's easy again to get trapped in the workplace. This is my boss, or I'm the team leader, or I'm not the blah, 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 or I'm the, and that's what falls apart in workplaces as well. I mean, it just hits you everywhere when you are in that limited space of roles. Now, we also have another dilemma that does happen in our society, is where people, though, when they have children and they want to just be their friends and not ever have a place of being the adult. Now, that's not a good thing either. But that's different than what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about, hey, don't, just be friends with your kids and drink and smoke, whatever you're going to do with. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about that true place that it's so easy to fall into. It's so easy to fall into. I'll bring it into another realm about spirituality. Long, 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 long time ago, people, because I've been doing this for so, so long, people would say to me, well, who is your spirit guide? And I really felt really dumb at it. I said, well, I don't really have one. And they go, well, you have to. Don't you have a spirit guide? Everybody has a spirit guide. Don't you have a guardian angel? No. I said, I think people do, but I don't. And they go, well, how do you do what you do? Well, I can remember my birth and where I was before, so I've always known that my connection is Holy Spirit. And so a lot of times when I say spirit, I'm not talking about a spirit. I'm talking about Holy Spirit. And this Holy Spirit to me is the great comforter. And she feels very feminine, but I know it's also just an aspect of creator that is of the more feminine energy. But it's not a female. It's not a male. It's like, it's hard to describe it, but it's like it's just an amazing energy that I feel at one with, that is the great comforter, it's interesting, in Tibetan Buddhism, Tara is called the great savioress, the great comforter. In Sophia, the divine wisdom, I mean, the Kabbalah talks about, Shekinah. There's many different forms of this energy. And again, it's not that it's like this is superior or this is female or it's an energy. It's a persona of a connection of God energy that I feel very connected with. So again, we've been so, and it doesn't mean you don't have a spirit guide or that that's wrong or that but know that we've also been taught to think so little of ourselves that we don't even have the concept that maybe we have this direct connection with God, that God speaks directly to us. So I really feel that a lot of what people perceive to be spirit guides, angelic beings, whatever, are part of your own persona. They're part of your own higher self, higher consciousness. So I would invite all of you to investigate that, because again, if you constantly think, okay, my guide is telling me, you got a separation. And it's what's happening in religion. It's what's happening with Catholics, or people in particular have been trained that way to, there's somebody has to intercede between God and I. As we're, especially in the Big Awakening, we know that's a big lie. I'm not attacking Catholic. I mean, any religion that tells you which is all man-made stuff about fear and control, and that's not God. That's not true spirit. So, and a lot of people get really, and again, this is not a judgment. It's just when I do readings, and if people come in from the other side, or how people perceive, whatever that, I love that the other side way. It's not really another side. They're just all here. There's not really separation. So when I do sessions with people, the way people I just see death as a change in form. It's like going from one room to the other, and you change the form. You're just changing in form. If they speak to me, if they tell me things, that's good. I don't let them enter my body. I don't channel that way, but I feel them, I hear them, I see them. But again, the way I feel it, because lots of people will come and they go, well, I don't want to hear all this other stuff. I just want to hear what my dead husband that's not a good thing. You don't want to get hung up on, it's good if that comes through, that's very healing, and there's lots of things about that can be extremely healing to connect with people who are no longer in the physical body. And that's the one reason you do want to make it, if you have things to heal with people, or there's things that they want to help you, but to make that the end-all, be-all, that's, I'm going to go all the time to get these messages from my loved ones. What's that? First of all, they don't really give you a bunch of messages all the time. Leave them alone. We're multidimensional beings. They get up to the other side and they're like, we'll help you, but you're on your own. And again, what did your Uncle John or your Aunt Mary or whoever, they might have a different higher perspective now on the other side, but they're not God. They're not, why not know you know? You, the higher part of you knows and connects directly with God. And it's not, and again, there's nothing wrong if those things happen. And that's wonderful, because it happens all the time with me when I do readings with people. I love that when people come in and they have, but for it to be a thing that's all people want to do is get this little message from somebody, or get this, it will cripple you. It will limit you. You want to keep opening, and making your direct connection, and knowing that you are created by the Divine Mother and Father, and that you are created in the image of God, and that you have a divine part. Most religions want to teach you that you are born in sin, that you are not worthy, that's a lie. It's a total lie. And it's the biggest lie that was ever told. And it's very important to know that. It's very important to know that you experience your connection with God, with Spirit, with Creator, however you want to perceive it, in your own unique way, because there's nobody like you. It's why there really are many religions and belief systems, because people think and feel and do things in different ways. But to me, religion it's like riding a bicycle and you have training wheels on, and pretty soon you take the training wheels off, and then pretty soon you don't need a bike. Same thing happens with when you're learning about spirituality, or you're wanting to delve into scriptures or into things. They're wonderful tools, but they're not. Seriously, I was brought up in a fundamentalist church that we went to church Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night, under the Bible backwards and forwards. And there were some people in that church, I think they totally believed that Bible was written in English. You know what I'm saying? And I just remember being a little child going, and I mean, seriously, thank God I had such a strong memory of where I was before, and the real times of Jesus and Mary Magdalene and different things, that I had no doubt what was the truth. And they would say, only people that believe the way we do are going to be in heaven. And nobody else is going to be there. I remember thinking, good. I want to see you guys. you could be in your own heaven. I'm going to be in my place. And so this is the kind of stuff to think about. Oh, honey, it's right in there. This is the kind of thing. Don't get stuck in guilt, shame, fear that's been purposely put on you. Think for yourself. Feel for yourself. Let go of false pride. Let go of things that are keeping you apart from you and your life. Because the times that we are in are so precious because it's about you as an individual coming into your full potential, your full activation of your life. Don't let TV and drama and trauma and watching reality TV shows entrance you. I mean, you can watch some stuff, but you know what I'm talking about. People, it's all they watch. Somebody else's life. I mean, that can be interesting for a minute, but I mean, you don't want to live, you want to be in your reality TV show. I guarantee you, you want to be in your life right now. And the more you are, the happier you will be. The more you are detached, and we can learn from watching. That's the whole point. We learn from everything around us. We can learn from watching reality TV. Actually, it's a really big learning about right now how you don't want to live your life. Pretty much, it's like this is probably not what you want to do, you know. But you want to be out and about. I think the funniest thing is when you go, we're all guilty of it. I'm not pointing fingers at anybody, but you go out to dinner with people, everybody's sitting there and they're on their phones. And text messaging. I think they should have a rule that when you're eating, everybody has to put their damn phones down, and people are going to be talking to each other. You have to connect. We're going to but it's that beginning of the Aquarian age is about the individual. So we're at the baby steps of the Aquarian age, which is the individuate itself. So how it's manifesting, and it's the age of technology as well. So what we're seeing is everybody's very self-contained and has their little iPhones or their little whatever, and they're, it's just, we'll break out of that because it's going to get very boring. That will all get, we're in a stage of that. I mean, I was brought up in the country, and we had a party line. People can't even conceive of that, You had a party line, you had 5 or 6 people on your line, you pick up the phone, and I'd listen to I had these older teenage neighbors, and I'd listen to talk to their boyfriends, and I'd say, "Get off the phone, Mary." It's just, it was a different world. But there was something charming about it in a way. It was a different way of being, a different way of, and now it's like, oh my God. And that text message, and I have this really weird thing with my phone. It sends messages to people that I do not send, and so I don't know how this happens. So, I mean, butt dialing is one thing, but I will get, the weirdest things will happen, or I must have a thing that I don't really know how to use, that Siri, or that thing we can talk and it just kind of does stuff. Sometimes I will look at my phone and there's all these really interesting phrases that somehow, unfortunately, they don't get sent because people think, what the heck is she talking about? But there'll be almost like these little encrypted messages that I guess I'm supposed to read to myself. So technology is interesting like that too. There's so many neat, interesting things happening right now in the world. So again, explore your world. You are where you are for a reason, and the only way out of where you are is to be in it. And it sounds like backwards, but it's not. Be where you are. Don't think someday this will happen, someday this. No, where you are is where you are, and if you dive into where you are, everything in that will change and morph that you don't like or don't want. That's all. Does anybody have a question or anything they want to ask or talk about? I think we're having another big storm, it sounds like, out there. It's interesting energy right now, too, with all the weather and The weather is usually it's a group energy that's happening. So there's a lot of stormy, watery energy going on apparently here. But again, I would invite everybody to have fun, do fun things, do things that make you feel good, do things that keep pushing yourself out of places that you might be hiding. This is the other image that Spirit keeps giving me. There's nowhere to run, there's nowhere to hide, we're all transparent. But we still do this. We're like little kids when they play hide and go seek and they're hiding behind a pole and you can see them. They don't think you can see them. They're like, they're just short. Nobody can see them. And there they are. That's kind of how we are right now. We are exposed. And it's an uncomfortable feeling at first. But when you realize that that's okay, it's not a permanent state. It's just part of the transition. I mean, death is a process, birth is a process, everything are these processes. And so anywhere you find yourself really stuck, you can get unstuck at any time by jumping into it. That's all. You don't have to stay, that stuck thing is fear. When we're fearful, we stay stuck. When we're fearful, we're stagnant. When we're fearful, we either want to control or we want to be controlled. And it's what leads to passive-aggressive behavior instead of direct connection and communicating. So again, that's another thing, is to really get into your own psychology of why you do what you do or don't do what you do. But don't stay in your head about it. Just go, whoa, okay, I kind of get this. I don't think that's a good way to get what I need or want anymore, so I think I'm going to have to change this up. If something is not working for you, don't keep doing it. Just don't keep doing it. Know that you have choices. And that's going to be a thing coming up too, where you're going to feel like a kid in a candy store. You get to a certain part of being free, and you see options. I could do this. I could do this. I could do this, and that can be overwhelming. But you're going to come out of keeping yourself in a box, because there's no box anymore, basically. You are energy, you are morphing, you are turning into light, and keep moving with that energy. Anybody have anything? I'll be here next Wednesday for the Oracle again, and I feel like there's going to be a lot of interesting things. July is a very powerful month. I feel like there's so many things that are going to happen for all of us this month as far as manifestation. So again, when things manifest, they are not separate from you. Look at what you manifest. If it's not what you want, then change it. No, you can be interactive with your manifestations. They're just parts of self. Feel free to morph and create and co-create and do things in different ways than ways you have done them. So let's just have a little closing prayer. We're so grateful for this beautiful night, beautiful energy, amazing people, the healing presence of Holy Spirit, the healing energy of unconditional love. And as we go out of this space, we know that we can stay in this space. We can stay in this energy field. And we ask for great healing and blessings for our families and people around us and situations around us. We ask the barriers to be broken down. We ask the things to be healed. We ask for healing from within and then for all things around us. And we ask that we will know and feel and be guided by the highest, highest, highest parts of our own being, and that direct connection with God, that direct connection with Spirit. We ask the peace that passes all understanding to come into everyone's heart, minds, and spirits. Amen. It's good to see everybody. The other thing you can do, I was going to say this one. This is a good one too. If there's someone that you really can't stand, and we all have people like that, don't feel bad about it. No. No, if there's people, we all have people we have issues with. And if there's people that you know that it would not do any good if you went to them to talk to them about anything, whether it be for asking for forgiveness or confronting the, whatever side of the story, right? Where there's only so many stories and we've all been on all sides of the archetypes. There's a thing you can do. And this is a very important thing to know about. You never want to misuse your free will. And you do not have a right to burn candles or chant or make people fall in love with you or make things happen. It's wrong. This is wrong thinking. Everybody has free will. You do not have a right to interfere with their free will and highest good or yours. So, but this is what you can do. So if you have people in your life that you have unfinished business with, or you didn't have proper closure, or you have people that you have to interact with, but it's contentious and it just is, you don't know what to do about it. You always pray this way, only in accordance with their free will and highest good and my free will and highest good. I want to connect with them on a higher level. Then you feel it, and you can say things, or you can feel it in your heart, mind, and spirit. You can say it out loud, or you can rant and rave. You don't judge what you're going to say. You just let it go. You whatever you're feeling or whatever you want it to convey, and it doesn't have to be good or positive. It's not about good or bad or positive. It's about getting the poison out. It's about or getting the hurt out, or getting the whatever it is out. Getting it out there. Then seeing that person as a person, not the role, like we talked about, and then see them like a child, like a baby, and just let that energy go. And I'm going to tell you, when Spirit started having me do this like about 15, 20 years ago, it was amazing. Many times within hours, days, weeks, the person I was doing the clearing with, the next time I would run into them or I would see them, there was like a barrier that was broken down. Because they hear you, they feel you. Everything is connected. There's no disconnect from anything. It's all one energy. So if we stay in a place of a grudge or a hurt or a whatever, that's where it stays. And when you do this, you don't do it with an expectation of anything. It's like what Jesus and Buddha said, for your sake, forgive others. For your sake, don't let things eat at you. And if you're on the other side and you feel like you've done something wrong or bad, don't stay in a place of beating yourself up. Ask for the forgiveness that they won't hear on this level. Ask for it on the other level. Their higher self will hear it. So it's like whatever side of the story it is, deal with it that way. Then it all changes. Then it morphs. Then it shifts. So I would leave you with that tonight, because that's a powerful way to heal. And it's a very viable, very real way to heal. People will show up in your dreams. Many times I see people in my dreams and we're healing things. And again, don't get attached to the outcome. Don't let the lower frequencies come in. Just cast the net out, put the energy out. Everything's about motive and intention. Be clear on that, and you will be free from so many things. So, well, thank you all for coming tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, enjoyed it.
That was amazing. Yeah.
Oh, it was a good energy.
Any advice for raising an almost 13-year-old boy?
Uh-oh, almost a 13-year-old boy. Interesting thing, from the time a child's born to they're 8, they bond with mother and father. From 8 to 12, they bond with a parent of the same sex. At 12, 13, in ancient cultures, people were considered adults. That's why there's bar mitzvahs or rites of passage or confirmations or baptisms, right? Is when you come into accountability is at 13. So that 12, 13 is huge. And because it's a hormonal shifts, it's all kinds of other shifts. But in your case, what will happen, he'll start to want to bond more with you, believe it or not. He'll connect more with you. If a boy has had more female and not had enough male, they can get contentious. I mean, they can do whatever. That whole age is about the individual, though. So they get very, children take things out on the person they feel safe with. Unfortunately, sometimes, right? And they really test the unconditional love. But again, understand, anytime, whatever age our children are, or children that we're around are, or grandchildren, it activates on us what was going on when we were that age. And it gives us a chance to heal things. So you want to see what's pushing your buttons or what you were like at 12, 13. Because it gives you a chance to redo your own childhood, your own stuff. Yeah, it's heavy, right?
It is.
Yeah, and so when you get into that aspect of it, it will change. And again, it's really authentic connection. It's not even the amount of connection, it's the quality of time. Because we get so busy. And I see so many people and they have their kids. They take this lesson and that lesson, and we go here and we go there, but they don't know their children. They're not connected. Don't let other people raise your children. And if you do activities, pick those, but don't let it just be that's what you do.
It goes so quick.
Roland's 27 to 28, and July 20th. It's hard to believe. Yeah, it's gone. It goes very, very fast. So.
You be gentle with yourself with a lot of changes going on.
Oh, I am.
Yeah.
Oh, I am. Thank you. Yeah, I am. There's just so much. And it's very freeing. It's very freeing, but we're in an intense time of the shift, but it's a beautiful thing. But it's like anything, it just keeps morphing and changing. Do you have another child?
No.
That's your baby?
Yeah.
See, I only had one. I think sometimes when you have one child, you have one child. You have one mother and son here.
I have one child.
And you have one child. It's funny.
You have 4.
She has 4. Oh my Lord, girl, I'd be insane.
I know.
But I know so many people that have one child or one son. It's very interesting, and it's And I think when you do have the one, it's different than I always tell them, "You're my favorite child." It's like that. But that's a fun age. That's a interesting. They definitely.
They just want to be grown up.
Oh my God! Don't you remember? You know everything when you're 13.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, and when we do ghost investigations, and a lot of the almost 100% across the board, when you find poltergeist activity, there is a pubescent child in the house, male or female. There's a 11 to 13 to 14-year-old, and so a lot of the energy that's making things fly around, it's coming from those wild hormones, or it's spirits can use that energy. So that's a little tip too. Oh yeah.